Welcome, 2 Nerds and an Actor, for our New York Comic Con 2019 wrap up. I know we don't have sound effects.
Now we'll never have them.
Because you see, because now.
This is what the fuck you just did.
What? That's the horn.
We'll never get our drop license now.
No, they get taken away.
What? I did it okay.
You committed an infraction.
Listen, you can't brown. You can't do that.
What was I watching where someone was like, no, it's pronounced what was that? Was that Black Lady Sketch Show?
Yes, it was.
Oh, man. I forget. We should talk about that one day. Yeah. I'm here with my nerdarinos. Mike Santana.
Like a pizza topping? I don't know. What?
New tweet.
Wait, what?
You know, like you say, Duderino.
All right.
Rob Schneider.
Isn't that
here
like
next
the
time.
80s or
Yeah,
something?
like making the podcast. Wait,
Yeah.
he did play that guy, right?
Yes, he did.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay.
Good. All right.
And France Jerome.
I'm just Rob Schneider. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I'll be that.
You
I'll
can
be
do
that.
it.
You can do
You
it.
can
You
do
can
it.
do it.
What's up with Rob Schneider these days?
He's doing that.
He's doing that
He's just
What?
every time.
No.
He just waits for Adam Sandler to do a movie and then he shows up in costume. Like he's
I would
gonna
love that. Actually.
he's gonna be in that new one. That what was it, Uncut Diamonds or some shit?
Oh, Uncut
What?
Gems.
He is
yeah.
Uncut
another-
Gems.
I don't even know he had another movie.
No, this is another Adam Sandler serious.
Serious
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
With Kevin Garnett.
That's how you know it's serious.
I am not on the wave on that one. Although anytime I see like Adam Sandler, I'm like,
and Darius.
probably not good.
from Atlanta.
Lakeith stands for
Wow. Okay.
Yes, the Lakeith.
Well, I need to see this.
the only Lakeith.
Well, this wasn't at Comic-Con.
No. I don't know where this movie's supposed to be, but anyway.
All right. And I'm your host here, Aisha Jordan. I don't have a fancy name.
But you give us these fucking spaghetti-o. You know what?
Wait, you're the host?
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
When was this decided?
I'm the actor. Uh-oh. I spoiled it. I'm the actor.
You gave it away?
So we went to Comic-Con this year. It was a big year.
This year.
Somewhere I saw that it was like the most attended. I might be lying.
Nah,
Maybe that was them
it
advertising.
felt like the most attended.
I didn't
felt
look
like it.
I didn't look that up, but I wouldn't be surprised if somehow it still was.
Yeah.
Because they didn't sell out all their Thursday tickets, but that doesn't mean that they didn't sell more than they did last year.
Right. That's true. It was very crowded. I mean, Thursday I felt like was nice. I was surprised because the last time I think Thursday was like ridiculously crowded, and I was like, "What is happening here? This is supposed to be like the nice day where I could at least walk in a full stride."
I don't know. I guess we have differing opinions on that. Like, I felt this year the traffic flow was like better.
No, I'm saying last year it was terrible. I said this.
Oh,
year,
yeah. Last year was tiptoe.
This year was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, so I want to start off with some of the cool people we met and some things that happened. So first thing, because we said we were excited about this in one of our last ones. Was that in the, what did we call it? Red
Road.
No, the name of the last episode. I love the name.
Red Rum?
No, Total Red Call.
Total Red Call.
Red Rum.
Red Rum.
No,
Red Rum.
Yeah, Red
Red Rum.
Oh my God.
We're not going back to back Ruds.
Sorry, no, but we didn't meet Paul Rudd, so that's not what happened.
Rudd on Rudd.
But oh God! But we met BossLogic.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Listen, I love BossLogic, but I love how you're like, we didn't meet Paul Rudd, but we met BossLogic.
We met BossLogic. Equivalence. No, it was, it's funny. I realized like when we went to go see him that I don't know what he looks like at all. I've never seen his face. So when like we were walking over there, he had like some assistant doing something. And I was like, is that him? And then France was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay.
Are you the him?
Are you him? But he was like, yeah, no, you can get a picture and then he'll come back in like 45 minutes to sign it. And then France was like, there's going to be like mad people around him by the time we come back. There was, but it wasn't
Yeah,
that serious.
It was my. I don't think anyone also knows what he looks like.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Yeah, I was like, I know what he like. I've seen him. It was special because he doesn't show himself a lot, and he talks about that on his page a lot. Actually,
That he doesn't show himself.
Well, yeah, he's sensitive about how he looks.
Oh, it was so cute. He looked like uncomfortable, but like happy to be there. And I wanted to give him a hug like he was a teddy bear.
Were the assistants he was with real, or were they holograms that he...
He drew them?
I'm pretty sure they were hired. They're like, what do you call
could be
it?
hired holograms.
Like by Comic-Con or something?
Maybe.
What, they were muscle?
There was only one guy. It was one
Well, no,
dude.
It could be Disney muscle. I mean, he
Yo.
does art for them officially.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, he did some movie
Oh.
posters and promo stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
They had Gaston come through, put on a black
No.
polo.
Yeah, he's the he's like the mixtape artist of Photoshop.
Dead ass.
Wizardry.
Him and
Oh
Art
my
Germ.
God.
No,
What?
no. Our Germ was out here teaching classes and shit. Boss Logic was just
He's
like
the Eminem of this shit.
throwing up fan art. Like, yeah,
Look at this.
I heard 2 seconds ago that the Twilight Kid is gonna be Batman. So he goes 20
ago.
images of him as Batman that look professionally made.
Well,
you
France said
go.
something to him. I couldn't hear because it was loud.
Oh, I congratulate him. I'm like, bro, like you really like your work took you from Instagram to Artist Alley. And some people have done that, but not many, and not to his acclaim.
Yeah, not being called up by
Like,
Marvel and be like,
facts.
yo, can you
Right.
do like Endgame official posters for us,
Official.
please? Thank
Dang.
you.
Yeah, he was
pretty
nice.
nuts.
And then France bought Batman Who Laughs because like everywhere we went, I was like, oh, Batman,
Was
France
it
and Batman
was
Who
it the
Laughs.
collab one that he did?
Well, he's like a playing card.
No, because I know he did a special one for Comic-Con with another artist. But
Oh,
that
no,
might have been
it
on metal.
It was on metal, and it wasn't
Damn.
it wasn't this piece. No.
Okay, okay.
But I know what you're talking about.
Because if you would have got one of those, I'd been like, oh,
Nah. That would have been. I would have made it.
ski mask.
Well, this one, yo,
He just said he was gonna rob us.
90s Rob too. Not even
You
new
could have
age.
like come to our house without a ski mask and robbed us.
But the shit
Like,
is,
oh,
I
hey,
would-
Mike.
I would have that displayed, and you would come here and see it and
Yo,
be
you got
asking
one too?
questions.
Like, yo, where'd you get that at?
That's fire. Oh, he signed it just like he signed mine.
Yeah, he signed it though, but then he put ha 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 around it.
Oh, that's
He made it
appropriate.
creepy.
It was
Yeah.
so good. The piece is so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, BossLogic, cool guy. And I told him that we talk about him on our podcast all the time, and he was like, "What podcast?" So I gave him a card.
No.
It was nice. But then I was like, I'll tell you. So the other dude on our podcast is the one who put us on to kind of put us onto your work in that way. And then you get referenced mad amounts, and I used one of his joints for like, he was like, "Oh, tell him I said what's up." I was like, "Say less."
We took a picture with him. We posted it.
I'm other dude, and I
I'm
am
the
other humbled.
dude.
Wait,
That's cool.
writing that down.
It was fun. All right. So the next person who I got to meet, who these guys didn't get to meet, was Samantha Bee. She's great. She's awesome. She's really sweet. And it was kind of strange, I'm going to be honest, because I had all these questions about her TV show that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know people are probably thinking too, like, what is Samantha Bee doing at Comic-Con?
That's what I was about to ask.
It's like, wait, why was Samantha Bee at Comic? So then you realize, like, I got this interview was all set up, and they're like, I didn't know where I was going till the day before, or even like the day of. They sent an email like real late.
Oh, like where the location was?
Yeah, and like even they almost didn't let me in. It was so crazy because I have a pro pass, and I go. They're like, it's on the 4th floor. I'm like, what the freak is the 4th floor at Comic-Con? But it's through the cosplay corner. Then you go into the back where the press is, and remember I was like, that's where the famous people go, because that's where all the press interviews happen.
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't let me in. They were like, you don't have a press badge. I was like, but I'm slotted to give an interview. Like, I have to be back there at a certain time. So the guy was like, all right, go ask and then come back. So I asked them, and I was like, I don't have a press badge, but like I'm on the list. They're like, oh, okay, can you just like hang out here then? I was like, what? Anyways, it ended up working out. I just thought it was like ridiculous that like, oh, I have a pro badge, and I'm on the list, but it's like, oh, you can't be in here. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Anyway, so why Samantha Bee is at Comic-Con? Because she has made an app game for the election. So I think they thought it was like the perfect place to kind of promo this game that they're making. Which I think is kind of a stretch, but I get it. You want to get into all arenas. You want to get a lot of people interested.
Isn't registration over this week? So.
Oh, well, yeah. So probably.
In New York.
Well, so basically the game is like fantasy football for the primary candidates. So you can go on and play these certain like games and root for your candidate, but there's real money involved.
So Andrew Yang is going to get me the most boards.
I'm like, damn
Maybe.
it. Is Bernie still on DL?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Bernie,
How many people are going to vote for him? He had like a heart attack and like
free throw percentage. I take Bernie.
I mean, yeah, old guys.
Blocks, I'll take Beto. Steals, Kamala.
Wait, didn't Beto drop down? Did he concede?
I'm talking about basketball stats because she said fantasy.
It is. It's like it is.
I'm thinking political stats.
No, I don't think Beto
it's the same.
conceded
It's like
yet.
imagine you guys blend the two things.
No, he
Yeah.
did. Him and Kristen Gillibrand did.
You sure Beto conceded? Wouldn't he have
Nobody
come out with
conceded.
like,
There's like a
yeah, I
million
fucking
people.
concede? Wouldn't he?
Let me check.
He'd be one to say it
See,
that way.
well, like this is what the game is about. It's like trying to teach people about the candidates and stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, it's giving real money to whoever wins. So whoever candidate wins gets that money for their campaign, which means it could be like the
As a
one you don't
donation?
want.
Oh, right.
But I get it. It's supposed to be a play on like, this is elections. Like anybody could win. Could be the person you don't want.
Listen, we all know someone who, well, I do. No, actually, we all do. We all know someone that takes fantasy sports to like an extreme in terms of like the amount of time they put in studying,
right?
All the numbers that goes with it. It's a serious thing.
It's true, and I think there'll be a bunch of people who probably take it really seriously, and there'll be a bunch of people who are going to be like, "This is funny," because they're poking fun at it too.
Yeah.
But so it was a roundtable interview, which I've actually never done before, where there's like a bunch of people at a table asking questions, and there was like you had to like jump in. I thought it'd be like nice to just go in like a circle. No, it was like popcorn style, and like some people didn't even get to ask one question.
What is the name of Samantha Bee's show? I forgot.
Full Frontal. With
Full
Samantha
Frontal.
Bee.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which it is. I mean, like she does not hold back.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah. But no, she was really nice. The other game developers were in the interview too, and it was interesting because I had all these questions about the show, and when I realized it was just going to be about the game, I was like, and now I only have 2 questions to ask you. But it was good. I asked them if they were going to play too. That was like my bonus question, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm going to play." I was like, "Oh, okay." Seems like a.
So the game is rigged.
I actually don't even know what it's called right now. I would have to look it up, but I'm sure if you just Google like Samantha Bee election
This is
game.
not a game by Samantha Bee.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, I don't know. This is a hilarious live political trivia game by Samantha Bee with cash prizes up to $5,000.
Yeah, that's the one. So you like answer trivia questions, but you're part of your.
Well, this is old. This might not be it. That might not be it.
Oh, okay.
But she does have another game now.
She does, yeah. I don't know if it's out yet or if it's gonna be out, but I mean it's interesting. And somebody asked me like, "Is she cool in person?" I was like, "Yeah, she's really sweet. Not as animated, of course, because
you're not on camera.
You're not on camera.
Yeah, you gotta save that for the stage.
Yeah. And I was dressed as Lando, and I thought that was funny.
Were you the only cosplaying interviewer?
I came in and like, I didn't know Lando was gonna be joining us. They're like, you got to make back the gambling losses somehow.
Through the game.
I was like,
Did you announce your candidacy?
I will now be running for president as.
I will now be running for president. Stay classy, Cloud City.
No, it was fun. There was when she sat down, she was like, "I love your outfit." I was like, "Yeah, Lando." She was like, "Yeah, no, I get it. I like it."
No, I get it. No, I get it.
I get it.
All right,
but I felt bad. I was like,
so she was aggressive. Got it.
She was like, no. You sit down. No.
I'll shoot first.
Oh. But it's funny because I was like, I picked the wrong day to dress up, and this other guy who was there. He's like, it's Comic-Con.
Exactly.
I was like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. You're like,
Nah.
at least I wasn't fully painted in gold. Would have been awkward. But all right, okay. So the next person who we were excited about is Pia.
Pia Guerra.
Yeah, that was her name. I couldn't remember her last name.
Yeah, this is gonna be a political one.
Oh.
No, because I first of all, I was trying to find her in Artist Alley. I've been waiting for Pia Guerra, the head artist for Why the Last Man, which is my favorite comic series of all time, written by Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for like a long time for her to show up at New York Comic Con so I could like meet her and say hi and thank you. And hopefully she'd sign the book that I had signed by Brian K. Vaughan. Anyway, so I'm going through Artist Alley looking for her. Can't find her. Like all these artists have these big banners or these placards with their names in the front of their tables. Can't find her. So after walking through all of Artist Alley, which thankfully this year was in a bigger space.
It was. I was happy about that.
Which was very good.
It wasn't as big as past times where I was like, oh, I can move.
Right. It's not as big as the area that they've been renovating and whatever.
Yeah.
But it was way bigger than where they had them last year.
Yeah.
Anyway, couldn't find her. Get to the very end of it, and I'm like, let me check this app. Says where she is. I beeline there.
Yeah, the app tells you like where they are.
Yeah. I beeline there, and I'm like, I do this kind of like, of course. She's the only artist there whose name thing, her placard, she just has facing up at the table. Like, it's like she's the hardest one to find, basically.
She's hiding.
She didn't have a banner. She didn't. Well, I was like, of course I'd be a fan of this artist.
She's like, I just showed up.
Yeah, but she's very sweet. She was talking to this black woman there who like was really how do I say this?
Animated?
Infuriated.
What?
Like in a like because that lady was like, I came into the middle of a conversation where the lady was asking her about some of the artwork she had on her table, and it was artwork of Trump.
Oh.
And
wait, Pia had okay.
And she came over because so she's doing this she's doing like these political cartoons that she collected I think into a comic.
Oh, okay.
Into a book. I forgot the name of them, but I'll get the name of it later. And the lady that came over was like, she was like, basically, explain yourself. Like, what is this?
Oh my goodness!
Because
But I mean, doesn't that make sense
political,
that someone would do something like that? Like, why would we be upset? It's
no.
What is this?
What I mean is like the from what I saw on the table, this is political cartoons like we saw in school and newspapers and stuff. Like,
okay,
it's
so
not
gonna like take a minute to understand what it actually is saying.
Right. It takes a second to actually analyze the levels.
Right.
And also, it's just we're so used to in this political climate. I don't want to get too much into that.
Right.
Where everything is so bombastic and obvious. Like all the political art I've seen for Trump have been like, him butt ass in the middle of the street.
Right. You
like
clearly know they're making fun of him.
Yeah,
or something.
it's so clear.
Yeah.
These were more subtle. So after Pia calmly explained what this was, and the lady was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then she was very calm, and I was like, okay, what did I just step into? But then, she listened to me say thank you in the the doddering way that I was, and I tried to. And she signed my book. She drew a little sketch of ampersand on it. Which
Epic.
really cool. He's the monkey in the story.
Oh, I've never read it.
There's an actual monkey in the story. But you'll probably see the show once it gets made. FX is working on it. Should be soon.
Do you think they're gonna do it justice?
Well, once they decided to make it a series instead of trying to do a movie, yes.
Oh, okay.
Because this deserves to be a series, not
wild
one movie or
details.
two.
Okay.
Right. And the thing is that this series has such great, like, dun dun dun, moments at the end, like cliffhangers, that you're like, no, a movie wouldn't work for this. A series week to week, yes,
okay,
definitely. So once they made that switch, great. But she was cool. It was very nice. It's always nice to meet people that you look up to in the industry or who has been a part in telling stories that have impacted your life, and. She was definitely and especially when they're cool,
right?
In real life, and she was definitely on my list, my Comic-Con list, and I'm down to like 2 or 3 names now for folks in the industry that I really want to meet.
goals.
Yeah, so I'm down to 2 or 3. It's like an Aria list, but the
But
opposite.
like, you don't want to kill them.
No, I don't want to kill
Nice.
them. I don't want to kill them. I don't want
I
to
love
kill
that.
you.
We about
No, it's the complete opposite. I just want to tell them thanks. You know. So it was great meeting her.
Yay. Yeah, so I wanted to take a chance to talk about any other people you ran into on the show floor, famous people you might have saw signing something, blah, 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 blah.
Art Germ.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's very kind.
He's a really nice dude.
And he's tall.
Who is Art
Man,
Germ?
suave.
He's an artist.
Okay.
I think we mentioned him earlier. He teaches
did.
classes, and what's really cool is that he has like amazing students because he posts their work often, and then like I'm following like 4 of his students, and they do amazing artwork as well. His cover that he did with Jean Grey, I forgot. It's recent or it's for an upcoming issue, something like that. It's just so clean. Like his art is clean as fuck, and it's good. It's good.
Oh, cool.
Or is his name like Stanley?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanley Lau.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's.
Why does he call himself Art Germ? Do you know?
I mean, when you're an artist, you can call it what the fuck you want.
BossLogic.
Yeah, well, you get BossLogic.
What was that artist's name that we saw on the list? John Doe or whatever. I was like,
Juan.
Doe. That's what it was.
Juan something.
We didn't go find him. We missed him.
I don't think anyone was meant to find him with a name like that.
Okay, so I met Alcide.
Oh, Joe Mangiello.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe
Joe
Mangiello. Yeah, that's the cover I was talking about, friends. That's for X-Men #1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is so clean. Upcoming X-Men 1. We'll talk about that in our other
yeah.
thing.
Okay. So, yeah, Joe, I can't say his last name right.
Mangiello.
You mean Deathstroke?
Facts.
Post-credit Deathstroke?
Well, yeah. So, we were walking by.
He was also Deathstroke in Magic Mike.
Oh, my God. Was he really?
No, but
I was like, what? I never saw Magic Mike.
What? Tom Holland? No, he's not in that.
He's not in it.
No. He'll be in part 3.
Tom Hardy's in it? No.
Tom Hardy, Tom Holland, and Tom Hiddleston will be in part 3.
Magic Mike part 3.
Magic Tom.
No, but we were walking by in the area which we call the block, but I guess it wasn't called the block this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was
weird
just
layout. We didn't really talk about what was different, but
yeah. But yeah, so we were walking by. Everything was like closing down, but I just wanted to like walk around a little bit before we left. And then Francis was like, yo, it's your dude. And I was like, what?
Your dude.
I turned and I was like, oh my fucking God. And I think that he saw me do that and he was like, oh geez.
It's
like,
Sophia Vergara's husband.
Exactly. But I went over to him and I was like, can I get a selfie? He was like, sure. I was like, you don't even have to move. I'm just going to stand right here. He's like, okay. So I took the picture. I was like, you're amazing. Can you also tell your wife that she's amazing? He was like, me and you have that in common. Thinking she's amazing.
Oh.
Like,
Aww.
it was so sweet.
They're too pretty.
They're very pretty. I can't handle the prettiness. But anyway, yeah, that was fun. That was a highlight. I literally was like, I can't believe this is happening. Alcide, he's right over there.
He's the leader of the pack.
I have no idea why he was there.
Yeah, I don't know what he was promoting either.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think he's with the bait the bait
it was a bit sign that said
clothing
bait.
crew. Yeah, I think maybe he's a funder or he like I think that's what it was.
Oh, okay. What is bait? I didn't even.
Oh, lifestyle wear, like a lot of clothing stuff.
Oh, cool.
They have some some geek nerd stuff, apparel.
Oh. Yeah, they were taking like a picture when we walked by. So
Okay.
anyone else? Any other famous?
That's cool.
Definitely. Or earlier in one of the days we was walking around, I definitely walked by Lizzo twice.
Oh my God, it was crazy. We were all walking together. Sorry.
Definitely
You
walk.
want to tell the story? I interrupted.
Oh no, we was just minding our business, walking around.
So you walk by Lizzo twice and then say hi once?
Nah, because she was there, which was already like a big thing. I thought, I'm like, damn, you really out here on the floor?
She was just walking
You
through.
man,
Yeah.
fucking popular right now. But then she had like low key security that was high key bigger than me, and I was like,
She had the BossLogics.
oh,
Because you say he had muscle.
they had the
muscle.
mega boss
Hired from
logics,
Disney.
Okay.
the big bads.
right.
I was like, oh, all right.
But you didn't notice them, like, because this woman, she walked by, and I was like, I looked at France. I was like, yo, that girl looked just like Lizzo. He's like, she did, right? 2 minutes later, we walked by again. I was like, that dead ass is Lizzo.
And she tall.
She's tall.
Okay.
But then, like, I think we noticed her, and they started shuffling faster.
Oh. We're getting recognized. Move. All right.
Yeah. But I was like, yo, what? And the thing is, like, she was performing in New York, I think.
Yeah.
Which is probably why she was like, oh, I'll just go to Comic-Con.
It was pretty cool. It was just dope to see her on the floor. I'm like, you really about this shit a little bit? That's nice. Even if you did a little bit, it's nice. It was cool.
When I'm famous, because I don't think I'm going to be, like, as famous as Beyonce, I'll probably just walk up in Comic-Con like that. What? Because, like, Beyonce can't go into public places.
No, she
There's
can't.
no way. But, like,
Apparently, neither can Alcide.
The man's name is Joe.
everybody didn't do what I did. Okay. He could have walked around. Nah, people
No,
would notice.
hell
him.
no.
Everybody would notice.
He's like 6'10".
He's pretty tall.
He's not getting around easily.
Everybody be like,
no.
oh my God.
No. And we already know that there are grope corners in that fucking place.
Yes,
There's a
there
lot of
are.
grove corners.
Yeah, you're not walking through there unscathed.
Well, those are the famous people. Yay! I remember last year we saw Taika Waititi.
But there were famous people there.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all did see him like at the end of the thing.
Yeah.
Also
Speaking of tall people.
He was also tall.
But I mean, there were celebrities that showed up that I didn't know were gonna be there, and
Like-
had I known, I would have planted myself strategically to see them.
I heard that Ryan Reynolds was there. Someone
Ryan
with
Reynolds
him.
was there on day one.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Someone was like, "Oh, he was here," and he like showed up at a panel that he wasn't like
Invited
slotted
to.
to be at.
But
Classic.
he's in whatever they were.
Yeah, he was in it. Yeah, but no one expected him to be there.
Right, nobody expected him to be there, but he fucking
He, like,
showed up.
Showed up.
And like most of the cast of Birds of Prey showed up.
Oh, really?
Margot Robbie.
She was there?
Yes.
What?
Margot Robbie, Rosie Perez.
Oh my
Journey Smollett.
goodness.
Who?
Journey
Journey
Smollett.
Smollett.
She's
Oh,
Black
sorry.
Canary.
When you said Smollett,
It's her.
I know,
It's her,
it's her
sister.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. That's
It's
why I
awkward.
tensed.
You're like,
I
who?
was like, you mean Juicy? All right.
Juicy. Juicy.
Oh my god.
But yeah, a lot of the cast was there from Birds of Prey. I don't think Mary Elizabeth Winstead was there, Huntress.
Oh.
Or, as we should call her by her pilgrim name.
Ramona Flowers.
There you go.
Oh.
She wasn't there.
I
And
was
then
like, I don't got it.
and then the cast of Umbrella Academy was there too.
What?
You didn't know that?
Nah.
Where?
No,
Was there-
seriously?
Was
Deadass.
there a panel?
They were doing a whole signing like at one of the booths. Like by the Marvel booth. Like it wasn't even like they were
Off to the side.
Yeah. So
Feel robbed.
I didn't see pictures, but I was told number 5 was there. If I would have taken a
snap.
picture with that guy, I wouldn't have to have gotten a gift for Papa. I could for my nephew.
My
Yeah,
I
he
would have
would've
just
been good.
given him that picture and be like, "Look, I went in the future and got this,"
I cannot believe
and he would have
that.
believed me. You went to
don't
the future?
understand.
Like,
You
yeah,
went to
man.
the future.
That's where number 5 hangs out.
Yeah.
You're right.
That little portal at Comic-Con.
He would have just believed me.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All these surprise things, it makes it hard. There's always so much going on at Comic-Con. You're like,
But hey, we went from thinking that, top of the rung was Paul Rudd and Tom Hiddleston,
Right.
which is a pretty high
that's
rung.
a pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't run into them.
With all due respect to the Watchmen folks and everything, but
Yeah.
we thought that was kind of the tippity top, and
Right.
no, there was a lot of
It was more.
folks that showed out,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping that becomes a trend.
Yeah, I like
it'd be
it's cool.
cool.
Because even now, like thinking, you're like, oh man, we missed them. But I'm like, that is really cool that they came out.
Yeah.
I guess fun. All right, so we're gonna talk a little about some of the panels that we went to, which were I thought they were pretty good panels. I think last year there were panels that was like, oh, maybe I should go to that. Maybe this, maybe. But I feel like this year there were some good panels that was like, man, this is dope. You weren't like on the fence, like, should I go to that? But yeah, and a lot of things were happening actually in the space, not at like Hammerstein and Hulu that you really wanted to go to. Because I feel like they took some of the really big name ones last year and put them in Hulu and Hammerstein, and like you didn't go.
Right.
Yeah. So this year they were like in the space and it was like nice.
And this year they did a thing where like for folks who have already attended a Comic-Con, or at least that their emails have attended a Comic-Con, they gave you a chance at a lottery to try to get a seat guaranteed at panels of your choice. Right. So that was really cool.
How did you do that? Like, how did you find that?
They sent emails. I just never...
Did they?
Yeah, they did. I just didn't follow through with it. Luckily, I got into the panel I wanted to get into anyway.
Right.
But for next year, definitely I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'll pay attention to that.
I could never find them. I was like, man, I'm sure this is sent somewhere. But you know, like you search in your Gmail and like you can never find the right thing. But yeah, so we actually ended up going to the Watchmen panel, which was like phenomenal. Like we were actually going, and I thought we were just going to see a screening, and we're going to talk about it at a different junction. But I didn't know it was also the panel.
And this is for the HBO, the new HBO series.
Yeah, the HBO Watchmen series, which, oh my gosh, this panel, it was like everybody.
It was the entire main cast short of Don Johnson.
Yeah.
But it was Louis Gossett Jr. is in the building.
Oh my God.
Jeremy Irons.
Yahya Mateen.
Yeah.
Regina
King.
The God Body.
And then like other people you didn't even know were in the show and stuff. But I like telling this story because everyone has this like story about how they got involved into the project, and that's kind of like what a lot of them talked about. But Regina King said that they sent the script like directly to her, and she's like, usually your agent gets the script or whatever, or whoever is represented gets the script and then like sends it to you. She's like, no, they sent it directly to me. And she was like, okay, like I gotta read this. It was sent specifically to me. And then inside one of the like pages, like ahead, was an envelope. And so she was like, she's like immediately went there first to open the envelope, and it was like, Regina, don't open this until you've made it to this part. And she was like, oh. So she put it back. She was like, within like 5 pages of reading it, she knew she wanted to be involved in the project. So finally she gets the page with the envelope and she opens it. And it's an artist rendition of her as the character already drawn. And she was just like,
now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got artists doing renditions of my face and this stuff. I'm like, man, it's a hell of an invitation.
It's great. And freaking Damon Lindelof, who is the writer and directed a little bit, but did the writing, who also did Lost.
Yeah, no, I think he is the director.
Well, the director for one of the episodes that we saw came out. No,
you're right. It was this other woman. Yeah.
And hearing him talk about this process was crazy. And then it was really intense and insightful. But there was a chair that was empty.
They're like, oh, it's gonna be a surprise.
And he was like, he keeps doing that, they said. Then there was his mad stories about how he took Jeremy Irons to lunch for 2 hours.
Jeremy Irons was like, I don't read the comics. So he took me out for a wonderful lunch. And he was talking the whole time. But then like as they go through the line, everyone was like, well, I didn't get a lunch. So the whole thing, he was like, you know what? After this, he was like, I'm going to take everyone to lunch, okay?
He was like, we all going to Sizzler.
We're all going to Sizzler.
People in the audience are like, there are no Sizzlers in New York.
He was like, oh, yes, there is.
For Jeremy Irons, they'll find one.
They'll build one.
But that's kind of nasty. Why are you taking Jeremy Irons to Sizzler?
He's not too good for tater tots.
There's mad places you could take Jeremy Irons.
Already had his fancy lunch.
You're right.
But anyway, sorry, you were saying.
What was I saying? Oh, Damon Lindelof.
Right.
He also did Leftovers.
He did.
For HBO.
Also for HBO. And we had also seen a panel with Christopher Eccleston, who was the 9th Doctor, for those of you who don't know.
Doctor Who.
And he talked about how amazing it was to work with Damon Lindelof and his vision and all that stuff.
Yeah, in Leftovers, because he was in Leftovers too.
And then to see Damon Lindelof talking about it was wild.
It was funny. I was like, is this like 6 degrees of separation of Leftovers and Lost?
Is this a new bromance with France and David Lindelof?
Oh.
I mean, I'm a fan of 90% of his work, so yeah, it could be. It could be a thing.
Oh, wait, when they did the thing that was funny before you reveal who the secret person was, that they were like, should we have them guess who the secret person is? This guy goes, you know, in my past, when you let people guess how they think it's going to go, and it doesn't go the way that they like.
That's David Lindelof?
Yeah, he was like, it hasn't worked out for me.
And the audience caught on quick.
Oh,
It was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so good. I was like, this guy's smart.
But they showed us the episode prior to this, and it was amazing. And you're like, damn, this is dope. And then the person who comes out is Dave Gibbons, who is the illustrator and co-creator of the Watchmen universe alongside Alan Moore, and the only person allowed on the panel to say Alan Moore's name.
But that's the thing. When
Dead ass.
So the director.
Oh, y'all can't see. Wait. They can't see what my face did. I did one of those big-eyed, shaking my head, but smiling, but dams.
Yeah, so the creator came on and read this thing about it. He's like, I've been, ever since I was a kid, I loved Watchmen and this and that, And the creator who has asked for us to not say his name has been like inspiration to me and And we were like, yo. He literally was like, he's asked. Yeah, but then he comes on being like, yeah, me and Alan. I was like, oh.
Voldemort?
There was dead ass. There was a gasp that
Is he going to appear and hurt us? Is he going to burn the reel? No one will watch this.
But
why did I make Alan Moore sound like that?
I don't know.
But
that's probably accurate.
It sounded right.
It's just him. Long
no
nails.
one will watch The Watchmen.
What the fuck? He sounds like a villain from Gargoyles.
I don't know why.
It's valid.
But yeah, it was a pretty cool panel.
Dave Gibbons also said, I'll just leave it at this. He was like, this is the closest anyone's ever gotten to getting anything near their vision and continuing it and building upon it. Right.
Ooh, and Snyder wept.
Facts.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's dope. All right, so y'all, what's the next one? Right.
Oh yeah, Watchmen starts October 20th, so be ready.
October 20th. Mm-hmm. So I'll talk quickly about this panel I went to, which I went to because my feet hurt, and everyone else was in other panels and doing things.
There's always a panel like that.
Yeah, and then you're like, I was worried because I was like, is it full? So Deadly Class, if anyone watched Deadly Class, I mean, it was good. I watched like the first few episodes, but then Umbrella Academy came out and you just like switched gears. Although they're not exactly the same. It's just like
they're just close
similar,
enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, this one's better. But
shit.
But like I went up to the front, I was like, oh, is it full? And the lady was like, no. And I was like, oh.
She said it like that?
Yeah, she shook her head like, of course not.
No.
And I was like, oh,
full.
okay. So I just walk in, like sit in the back, and freaking Benedict Wong is there. And I was like, it's not full, and Benedict Wong is here. So for those who don't know, Benedict Wong is from...
He's Wong in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So he's been in Avengers and all that stuff. And it was an interesting panel because, they're talking about how they didn't get the second season. Right, yeah. I thought about that as soon as I saw him. I was like, I wouldn't say no to a tuna melt. But so they didn't get a second season, and they kind of talked a little bit about that. Talked about being on set, and and then like questions came up from the audience pretty quickly because it was like this one guy was so sad. He was like, this is the first time I'm hearing that it's been canceled.
Oh no.
I know. And he was like, I figured coming to the panel like, oh, they're gonna show what they're working on, like teaser of season 2.
Oh no.
Everybody was like, oh
man,
I feel so bad for that guy.
I know.
It's the letdown.
It was so sad.
What do you mean?
He's like, canceled? But so then someone asked like, oh, how did you get involved in being in Deadly Class? Why does this man, Benedict Wong, talk about how he has not had an agent? As an actor, he got into Infinity War, Doctor Strange, all of these blockbuster, huge movies without a fucking agent.
Damn.
And I was like, I don't understand. He said the Russo brothers like called him up. He's like, oh, Ben, I have a product for you. And he's like talking about Deadly Class. He's like, I really want you to be involved. So I'll have my people call your people. And he just said,
I am my people.
He was like, I am my people.
I knew it.
Like, what? How does one, this is not fair. I was like, I would now like to have a sit down with Benedict Wong, like, Houseway.
He's cracked the code.
Like, how did you get in the room? How did you get the auditions? How did you, like, that is amazing to me.
He guards the sanctum.
He doesn't know who Beyonce is, so.
What?
Oh, huh?
Oh. I was like, does he not?
We're getting really close to Bayhive
No, not
so
knowing who
good.
she is too
Territory.
much.
We spoke well of her.
I don't know.
Fictional
We just said
joke.
she's super famous.
Listen, I just feel like there's a level of deference. that
They
if
don't
it's-
want the smoke.
If it's
No, see smoke, Beehive.
No,
Oh,
don't-
no.
no, friends.
They
It's
don't
not
want
how
the
it works.
smoke.
Oh, all right.
It's not how it works.
It's
Have to
true.
re-sign the
You
Geneva
never know what
Convention.
you say.
I'm sorry.
Saying we trying to get Untitled.
Oh God.
It's not gonna happen.
Okay, so I'll let these guys take it away. They went to what was the name of this panel? Because I keep calling it the House of X.
X-Men
X.
Dawn of X.
Dawn of X. Which was
Marvel X-Men Dawn of X exclamation point.
well, apparently it
Hashtag
was like explosive because I
Hickman
feel
is.
like everyone came out of that place being like, "What did I just witness?"
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
great.
It was really the ambition, the drive.
If anyone doesn't know, it's House of X, and is it Powers of X or just Powers?
Powers of 10.
Powers of 10.
Yeah.
Are there's like,
Which just ended today
oh geez, it's like a phenomenal comic series
for
that
X-Men
has
fans.
come out.
Yeah.
We talked about it once before
We
in the
did.
podcast. It's a modernization of the politics around the X-Men universe. And Hickman is
God. No.
That's the guy who has the voice, right?
Yeah, Jonathan.
No.
No. I'll get to him.
yes.
We'll save him for later.
Okay.
But no, Jonathan Hickman is the writer of those two series, and he will be writing the X-Men series and the, I believe, New Mutants series.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Is this like after he's written this? They were like, "Dude,
Yeah.
we need you to write these other things."
No, I mean that was this plan. He
okay.
came to Marvel with like, look, I've been thinking about this for 2 years. Here's what I'd like to do, and they liked it so much that they gathered all of their other X-Men writers, all the other people that they had working on X-Men related things, and like unanimously, I haven't heard not one dissent. Like none of them have even, I guess we'll do this. Not a complaint. They were all like, "Oh, this is great. This is brilliant." They put a stop to all the other X-Men titles so that this could roll out, and you get the Dawn of X, which is a series. It's like 6-7 series now because they revealed one at the panel.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna spoil anything.
I was like, "Are you guys gonna spoil?"
No, we're not. We're not gonna spoil anything in terms of House of X or Powers of 10 content. We won't do that.
But they show a bunch of like covers that kind of made everybody.
They did, but you have to think for the most part, comic book covers are like they rarely directly one-to-one coincide with what happens in an issue. A lot of times they're just made to grab your attention, and it's an action moment or a dramatic moment, but it doesn't necessarily always coincide with what actually happens in an issue.
Okay.
That's, for longtime comic book readers, we kind of know that. Just because you see Batman on the front cover choke slamming Superman through a kryptonite table, that whole issue could just be them on a rooftop talking about their moms. And that never happens. You know what I'm saying? Like we're used to that.
Okay.
So we can talk about the covers. There's one cover we have to talk about. France knows exactly which one.
Yes.
And that 7th series, we can talk about that one too. Once I talk about the guy you thought I was talking about.
Ron Swanson.
No, it's comic book Ron Swanson.
Comic book Ron Swanson.
Facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was cool.
We're talking about Benjamin Percy.
Yes, the voice, the secondary voice of Apocalypse.
Yo, he should be the voice of Apocalypse.
He should dead be the voice.
Benjamin Percy, for those that don't know, he is going to be writing X-Force.
X-Force.
He's going to be
It reminds me of Deadpool. We say things like that.
And it should. It absolutely should.
Rightfully so.
And they even asked him about Deadpool at the panel, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, they did.
And then Ryan Reynolds jumped out.
That would have made my day.
was him all along. But anyway, he also does a podcast which, admittedly, I'd never heard of until that point, and I haven't heard it yet because I was waiting for us to kind of talk about it and see if we agree to give it a listen together. It's a Wolverine podcast. It's like a scripted podcast, and they've won awards. I think they won an award. iHeartRadio has awards for podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh.
And which is, I think,
We gotta get in on this.
that's pretty legitimate in terms of awards for podcasts. As legitimate as you can get, I guess. And they won for best scripted podcast. That Wolverine.
Was the Long Journey or the Lost Journey, something like that.
Something like that. There's two of them. He wrote the first one, which is 10 episodes, and he's writing the second one. And I don't know if he reads them.
He just
I know he writes them, but if he doesn't read them
on his podcast,
yeah, that's a fucking crime.
I bet he does.
Like, for example, who's the guy that reads the Harry Potter?
Jim Dale.
Okay, imagine if Jim Dale wrote Harry Potter. Wait a minute, but then didn't read Harry Potter.
J.K. read it instead.
Yeah, this is France pulled up. Thank you, France. Yes, we have Wolverine: The Long Night.
A scripted podcast serial featuring the Marvel Comics character Wolverine.
Yes. It's like a murder mystery.
So they're like stories of Wolverine, just like
No.
It's
the first season is like 10 episodes. It is a murder mystery with Wolverine in like this town, is what I heard. And then now they're up to the second.
Broadchurch.
Yeah. It's like with Wolverine. Which could be kind of cool, like
actually.
He can smell.
Does he wig out though? I'm gonna do what you think I'm gonna do.
You smell like death.
Kill everyone.
Wow.
Wolverine eyed the redhead from across the bar.
Oh Lord.
That's what I do.
The 8th redhead this year.
Oh, man.
Damn.
That boy got a type. Anyway, I don't know if he reads it. I hope he does.
I really do.
But if he doesn't,
his voice is something else.
It is pretty epic. That's
he
my
was there.
bromance.
He was at the panel, right?
Benjamin Percy is my bromance from Comic-Con.
Oh.
That voice is epic.
Percy Miracles.
So wait, do you want to tell us about a cover? There's a
France, tell him.
Cover.
Yo, so they showing us mad extra new. Wow, we like there's one cover with Forge that's crazy. That was dope. It says a lot about what's going to come. I was like, damn, it can't get more crazy than that. What could be better than this? And then they show Professor X,
Madman,
Magneto.
Yep.
And Apocalypse, each wearing 3-piece business suits, walking out of the UN, like walking from the center stage. Like Snuff said, Apocalypse in a 3-piece suit. That's like 3 Luke Cages.
It don't make no sense.
That's like 3 Luke Cages in one suit.
He was in a suit.
How you put him in a suit? That don't make sense.
How did he said the pledge of the Krakoan pledge.
France,
Apocalypse?
We said we wouldn't spoil it.
Oh, no.
That's already out.
Is
no,
it?
But it's
what if someone hasn't read it?
It's a spoiler.
Okay.
I'll scrub it. It'll be like
no,
okay,
just
so
like cut in some spoiler before you say it.
Nah, but anyway, that cover.
Oh my God.
Which I think was for X-Men 6 or 5 that's coming out.
5.
Right, for 5. That power suit. France said it was a UN. I don't know if it was a UN or a boardroom. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter. They could have walked out the train station like
that.
They're together. And I'm like, what?
They were walking out in these
together
suits.
in yoga pants. And I'd be like, what's happening?
No, that's a different cover. Right? You got Professor X, like, Magneto, and Apocalypse in yoga pants. That's a little different.
Yeah, that's.
But in the suits, though, it's like, all right, we'll put on your costumes and still own the room. That was so cool. And see, in that issue, they might not ever step foot in a Men's Warehouse. That's what I'm saying. They might.
They're not, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
They go to Jadena's tailor.
Not no more. Have you seen Jadena? He's not dressed like a classic man anymore.
Really?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Not really.
Whack. Okay, well, that sounds amazing. I have to read these because I just feel like I'm left out now because it's not going to be a movie for some time, right?
We'll see. But that's the hype.
Right.
Is that this is so much thought is being put into this
There's mad jump off points.
that if they
They're
do anything
all
off any of
clean,
this, it won't
yes.
matter. It'll be fly.
Right. If they did a movie off of even one of the main storylines taking place during the series,
Right.
It's a win.
that already is like,
I see this as a major win.
yes. I see this as a win.
Okay. Well, so the last thing I wanted to end on is kind of just stuff about the show floor.
Oh.
Some stuff that you liked, maybe stuff that you're like, wow, that was weird.
Plenty of that.
Plenty of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing you really do notice is that, like, it's different.
Yeah, the layout was a lot different.
Things
this
that were
year.
always where they were are where they are, like Dark Horse and Marvel. Like,
They were relatively in the same spaces.
the same spaces.
Well, but there were just other stuff. Like they obviously have listened to previous attendees' feedback, and you know they upped the ante when it comes to amenities. Like there are way more food options than there ever have been before.
Yeah.
And we're talking about like in the early days of not early days of Comic, when I first started going to Comic-Con, like more like 10, 11 years ago.
It was just the lunch area, right? Like the regular.
Aisha, there was Dasani water bottles, popcorn, and lemonade.
That's
That was it.
That was it.
Yo, I had a crepe this year.
See?
Yo,
And it was no line.
There you go. See? Well, yeah, like amenities, they went up in that sense. And the like I was mentioning earlier on this podcast, like the traffic, like walking, there were a lot less of the kind of tippy toe choke points.
Yeah.
A lot more open areas, which is a result of a better layout. But the amenities that they added and the space that takes up and the new layout, I think cost them like a variety of vendors. Like there was a lot of products there from last year, especially in the t-shirt department.
Yeah.
And you know, vendors like We Love Fine.
Yo, we found them.
They
but
were
it's not
there?
but it wasn't We Love Fine. So they moved all the way in the area that used to be called the Block, which that's the thing that changed. It's not the Block.
Okay.
And like you probably saw it. You know where they were selling the little dog pillow things?
Okay.
On one side it says for the fans, by the fans, or whatever.
And that was
so
their
that
thing.
was like it.
And it was like, oh, and that's
But no
them.
shirts and
same
no
kind,
big
the same
bags?
kind
They
of t-shirts.
only had the shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't know if they had the
notice.
big bags or anything. Yeah, you wouldn't see it, which is like to what you're saying.
Yeah,
I think
they used to have a huge like inflated pug,
Yes.
like a cutesy pug, and they had like center stage of the show floor. They
Yeah.
were one of the-
Which is to say, we thought it was We Love Fine because they had a lot of the same material. They had fan-made T-shirts, a lot of
Right,
Steven
right.
Universe type stuff, a lot of
Okay.
cutesy stuff. Maybe it's a different company doing the same
Maybe,
with the same
yeah.
model. Because I know Hot Topic does that too, but
yeah, we were like, oh, maybe they just downsized.
maybe. But yeah.
I don't know.
still overall,
But it's still,
there's a
yeah.
lack of variety on a lot of the items there to buy.
It's true.
And that kind of sucked. But I have a lot of positives. This is positives.
Yeah,
Did you get to play any games there?
we didn't get to play the games, but you guys played there's a huge arcade. Was it Street Fighter?
No, it was
Marvel superheroes.
Oh, Marvel
Yeah.
Superheroes. Okay,
We got to play that. That was fun.
it was like massive.
Ginormous buttons and joysticks.
It was really cool.
Yeah. And that was there to draw attention to like these little mini arcade machines. that you
Yeah,
could
and then
buy
they had
in
like
your
that whole
home.
area that was for like little arcade games. That was
and
cute.
they had Street Fighter there.
I feel like it got smaller. Like, did you notice it was like a huge one, and then it was like medium,
yeah.
and then there was like tiny ones where you were like your
Yeah.
body was bigger than it, and I was
Yeah,
like,
so you
what
can
the heck?
Play while on the toilet.
Which is
Yeah.
wild. So my dad just had back surgery, and my brother Fitzgerald bought a tiny Street Fighter 2 arcade cabinet. He sent me a video of my dad playing it, and I was like, "How is he doing that?"
He was so big.
like,
I was like,
how is he
he
doing-
showed me a picture. I was like, what is that? What's happening?
I know he picked Guile too. I dead ass know he picked Guile.
Oh my
He's a
god.
family man. You know?
Yes, deep cuts.
But yeah, like that was fun playing. I played the Avengers game that's coming out for Square Enix.
Okay, I need to ask you
man.
this. People
it.
played this game
Yeah.
and then they sat in a big chair and took a picture.
No, that was not.
That was
Avengers
something
game.
else.
That was the mobile game, the other mobile game for Marvel.
Oh,
the one with the big maestro statue with the graffiti on it.
Oh, okay, that's what he was saying. He's like, but I was like, where the freak is this chair?
This is the thing. Me and my friend E, shout out to E, we were on that line.
Yeah.
For way longer than we thought we were gonna be because it was a short ass line.
Oh.
And we didn't know what was in there.
You're just waiting to see.
We just thought, oh, they're gonna tell us about the game. We didn't know that we were gonna get anything, and we damn sure didn't know that there was a fucking huge throne in there.
It's a throne.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like Maestro's throne. Maestro is like future Hulk.
Okay.
And there's like green gamma blood running down
I
it.
saw that from people's pictures.
Yeah, running down it because someone has killed him.
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
there are all these little artifacts around there that you can take your picture while holding them.
What?
They have like a chipped cap shield. They have a cosmic cube, an
Oh
infinity
my
gauntlet,
God.
broken Loki's helmet, Thor's hammer. There's a bunch of shit around there, and you could hold any combination of those things you wanted for the picture.
Oh my God. See, these are the little gems that we missed.
And then what was cool was, I talk a lot, so I see the guy that's standing in front of just me and E about to go in. We've been on the line for like an hour and something. And then I'm like, oh, so what's this game about? And he goes, well, he gives me the spiel. I said, okay, all right, sounds cool. What's your Twitter? We actually don't have a Twitter. I was like, you don't have a Twitter for this game? And he's like, no. He says, but we do have an Instagram. I said, all right, cool. What's your Instagram? He says, we don't have any followers. I said, man, I'll be your first follower.
I'll follow.
I said, I'll be your first and your second follower. And I did it right in front of him.
Nice.
And I showed him. He said, that's awesome. And I took a screenshot so you can see that I was literally... my personal IG and our podcast one.
Nice.
The first 2 followers for this guy's fucking Instagram for the game. And I'm like, okay.
That's wild. They didn't have anything before coming to Comic-Con?
Yeah, that's how secret.
And then they had the biggest booth thing.
They did have the biggest booth prop there by far.
It was huge. Everyone's like, what the hell is that?
Right.
Grabbed my attention.
And then they gave out these bags, and there's if you look right here, I got the banner.
Oh,
you pick
I
which
see.
house you want to be a part of.
Like Harry Potter.
And I picked Pyramid X, which is Apocalypse's house in the game.
Oh.
I was siding with the mutants. You're damn right I was.
Okay.
And they saved that shit for last in the little video demo they gave. Game's not coming out till next year.
But did you play the game or they just talked about it?
No. They just gave you a breakdown of the houses. There's a house run by Tony. Well, actually, Tony's dead. It's like an AI Tony hologram, which is kind of cool.
So they're sticking to the.
I'm liking the story so far.
Yeah, there's different factions, and they're in the same world as the Contest of Champions storyline. So if you're a fan of that mobile game, and the interesting mashups they do in that game, essentially in this game, you're creating a character that has to ally themselves with Wakanda, and whereas Queen Shuri.
Oh.
Tony and
with the shits.
Yeah, they're up with the tech. Peggy Carter is leading with the Patriots, whatever. It's Cap, but I didn't see Cap. What was the other ones? Fuck. Oh, there's a Spider-Gwen, and she's running like Manhattan, and it's all they call her Madam Web. They call her Madam Web.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they run the spies, the information gatherers and stuff, the Spider-Man people. Fuck, what were the other ones? There were 8 total.
This is intense.
There were 8 total factions. The last one was Apocalypse talking from Egypt, and you could join and unlock your untapped potential because it's in you. And I was like, man, you a mutant? I'm with it. I didn't give a shit who it was.
Well,
I was gonna be with it. And,
we didn't wait online. I didn't know there was a line. It was I just was that must be gone. Wherever that chair is, we missed it. It's gone.
Man.
But cool. Yeah. I mean, the only other thing I saw, the sci-fi panel place was in a nice location. And they had the cast of She-Ra. out there. We were just like walking by, and then I was like, next to Katsushiro, and I was like,
Netflix
Oh,
is
the spot that's
Shira?
outside.
Shira. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was funny because I don't know who voices the characters on Shira, and I watched season 1. We haven't finished season 2, but I think season 3 is like already out or something like that. It moved fast.
They're knocking them joints out.
Yeah. But then I'm looking up, and I don't know if anyone watches Superstore, but the woman who plays the manager in Superstore, like, voices one of the characters. I'm just walking by like, hey, I was like, it's that lady. So I'm like taking pictures. I'm like, look, France. It was fun, but
Yo, shout out to Geico. They had a booth there like they do almost every year.
Yeah.
They had music blasting. They had like the Toxic mix. They were playing all the "We Don't Play Those Anymore"
that is true.
songs that I was just dying laughing.
At one point, there was somebody singing along in like a Joker outfit thing, and I was like, this is hilarious. Oh, okay, so France pulled it up. She plays Dina on Superstore, and her name is Lauren Ash.
She's Scorpia on
Oh,
She-Ra.
she's Scorpia.
Yeah. She's the brolic one.
Who's like nice but also evil.
Yes.
Oh, and I said that I would find the name of that comic collection
right.
from Pia Guerra. I think it's called The Nib.
Oh, the one with
the Trump political
stuff.
cartoons.
Yeah.
Not the nip. The nib. The nib.
Well, that kind of sums up the whole year. I think it was a pretty good year. I liked it.
I had fun, but for me, it was like ranks in the bottom third.
Really?
In terms of Comic-Cons. Yeah, because of the overall experience. It wasn't as bad as like mystery box.
Oh my God.
Of about a couple years ago where
every
other booth was a fucking mystery box. Yeah. Thing.
They tried to do that this year. I saw a couple people.
A few.
Yeah, it wasn't like a lot like that time.
No,
and I was like, and they weren't selling. Nobody wanted.
2 years ago, every other fucking booth was mystery box.
And then you're like, where'd you get that? Oh, it was in a mystery box.
It was in a mystery box.
God.
Yeah, no. But it's for me overall because of the layout, and the lack of variety and
yeah, that's true.
For me, it was like bottom third in terms of quality, but I had tons of fun.
Yeah.
Loads of fun.
Then next year, maybe. Oh, that was the other thing. When you like professional passes, like cool, whatever. The press area was whack.
That was part of my beef.
Yeah, because like we have people who can get us into the press area, and we were hoping to like maybe film something in there, or like at least sit down and talk or strategize. And you walked in, it's like Cosplay Corner is now on that floor, and then you walk all the way to the back, and it's like a truncated press area, and there's literally more tables than chairs. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
How is anyone getting anything done? And we're talking shout out to Omar of Black Nerd Problems. He said there was one strip of plugs in the back
with 8
plugs.
And
that was it.
That's
I was like, what? You better charge your computer. Like, dang, press doesn't even get to write their shit or like whatever.
Press area was not.
But then
swaggy.
you realized that there were levels.
Oh yeah. Oh, so after I did the Samantha Bee thing, I was gonna go to the panel that was happening right after, but I wanted to go to the bathroom first. And lines in Comic-Con bathrooms are like forever.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to the Samantha Bee panel, I didn't think it was gonna be full, but it was full. They were like, we're at capacity. I was like, oh dang. Well, like I'm press. I just interviewed her. Like, can I get in? And he was like, no, you'd have to be like 4-level press.
4
I was like,
level?
4-level? I didn't even know there was other levels. Like, what? I was like, okay.
Damn, it's like the Pentagon.
Yeah. So it was funny because we brought it up to BMP, and like Omar and Jordan were like, what the hell? Like, they didn't even know. We're like, maybe it's only for like Fox or something. Like, you got to be NBC if you want to be 4-level press.
So maybe Alan Moore was there. He was just on level 5.
He's on level 5.
Lord.
But anyways, yeah.
Lord was there too.
Lord.
Free Lord.
The singer.
Yeah, sure.
So, anyways, pros and cons. It was great. Things could be better. But we'll see you next year then.
Yeah, I didn't catch the dates for next year.
I didn't
Is
either.
it as
Me
early
neither.
in October as last time?
Yeah, it wasn't the same as Indigenous Peoples Day weekend.
It was.
I'm gonna
This
look
year.
it up right
I'm
now.
already
NYC
on it.
Okay, they're typing. They're typing.
2020.
Furiously.
Shh, they're typing.
All right, 2020 is gonna
2020.
be October 8th through the 11th.
October 8th through the 11th.
Yep.
Cool.
8, 9, 10, 11.
1, 2, 3,
Let's
4,
see.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
11, 12.
That means it probably will fall on
Let's see.
that day. That holiday.
October. I think you are right.
Yeah.
Because I had to take the day off so that I was like, I need a recovery day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not telling me the holiday.
But I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Cool. So next year, maybe we'll be press, although it didn't seem to have perks.
We'll try again.
Try again.
One more again.
All right.
Well, I think it does have perks. I mean,
It
people
does.
react differently to your questions when they see you with that.
But also, people reacted differently. We were looking at this person's artist thing, and she looked at my badge and was like, oh. And I was wearing my 2Nerds shirt. She's like, 2Nerds, I think I've heard of that. And I was like, you're so funny. And she like immediately wanted us to like.
Wait, but had she?
I don't know. She said she saw stuff on Twitter, and I was like, probably not.
What do you mean?
But maybe. I didn't say that to her. I was like, oh, maybe.
You needed to probe her.
I don't know.
you
Where
needed
did
to-
you see us?
Yeah, we needed to know so we could do that more.
But she really wanted to like. It's like as soon as she saw the pro badge, it was like, oh, they must be important people. I was like, we are important people. I don't remember her name. And then we'll shout her out. But anyways, yay, Comic-Con. Everybody get some sleep after Comic-Con. That's what you got to do. Get a
Yeah.
foot rub. That's what you really need.
Or a
Back
shoe
rub.
shine. For some
Shoe
reason,
shine.
those damn things still operate during Comic-Con.
What?
That's
And I
hilarious.
saw a guy getting a shoe shine.
No way.
I did. And I was like,
Okay.
but why though?
It's part of the costume.
No,
He was
just a guy.
He was Professor X in a suit. That's what he was.
It's just a guy with a Friday badge,
Oh my God.
which was what made it strange.
All right. Well, catch our next episode. It's probably going to be released at the same time as this one. So just click next.
Click next.
Is that what you do?
We're gonna have a conversation about how Spotify works. All right,
Word.
I mean,
we're gonna have a conversation.
I don't know. Does it autoplay like Netflix?
We're gonna have several conversations.
I just like click through things. And...
All right.
All right. Bye.
Comic-Con out.
Ew.